Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, February 23rd. This is CAD 212, Architectural Apps in CAD. Today in class, we're going to be going over just a little bit of new stuff, and then we're going to open the floor for any kind of questions that you have. Any questions concerning the work that we've done up until this point, and anything that you have a question about for the midterm. The way the rest of the class is going to be running until the midterm exam. Obviously, we are off next week for Mardi Gras, so you'll have all next week to work on your project. When we come back on the 7th, we'll have a short lecture that morning. We'll pretty much just open the floor for review for the midterm, answer any questions that you have there. You'll also have time to work on your project. If you have turned in your project and you have questions about it, let me know, and then we can kind of go over any questions that you have. Basically, you can use this time just to text with me or set up a time to talk about your project just before you turn it in. So if you're having difficulty about something, I can help you with that. The project will be due by noon. Anything turned in afternoon will be considered a B, even if it's perfect. So the best you can get if you turn it in afternoon on the 7th is a B. After we review for the project, and answer any questions, we'll just let you continue to work on it, much like we would live in class. And then when we come back on the 9th, that's when your midterm exam is going to be. Midterm exam will be live. As I've stressed before, you have to take the exam live. The exam information will be on Canvas. So Canvas will open up at 9 a.m. in order for you to take the exam, and it'll run till 11:30 for you to finish the exam. And that's pretty much about it. So everything's pretty straightforward. The main thing for you to do is try and get all your work done this week. If you can get all your work done this week before you break for Mardi Gras, that would be great. You can turn in your work early. I'll make another live mod so you can turn that work in for me to review one more time, and then we'll go ahead and have everything due on the 7th in your midterm exam mod, which will be live next week. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the short lecture we have today, and then we'll just go ahead and open up the class for any questions that we have. All right, so what we've been doing the past couple of days is talking about sheets and how we're creating our sheets. We have a title sheet that we kind of played with the other day. And then we talked about, we recorded some elevations, and I'm going to throw in just this floor plan really quickly. We also talked about visibility graphics, and let's talk about how we'll work with that. So in this G102 sheet that I already have loaded, I'm going to change this to an A202 sheet. This is going to be my floor plan sheet. And remember, in order to import that, we're going to come over here to floor plans, click on floor plans, drag that in and drop that into place. I can use my directional arrows to center this a lot better. I don't want this this property line showing, so I'm going to click on the property line, and I'm just going to do a temporary hide for that. Now, when I jump back to my sheet, it's still there. So with the window active, there we go. I'll just refresh that, and then it'll disappear. Remember, this is where I want to move the location of this. Level 2. Move the location of this drawing line with this active. I'm going to go ahead and shrink that. But the scale is very small. So let's remember when the viewport is active, we can scale that up. So I'm just going to go up one little bit. And for this one, I can probably scale that up one more. Use my directional arrows. Click outside the viewport. Now I'll move that drawing tag back into the lower left-hand corner. I'll jump back to my floor plan level 1 and I'll throw on a couple of quick dimensions on here. So we'll go to Annotate tab, Dimension panel, Align tool. All right, I'll get those dimensions where I want them to go. I want them to come from the exterior wall line. So now that I've got my dimensions in place, let's jump back to our sheet. I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit to make it look a little bit more centered. I'm going to move this so it just looks a little bit better. So that looks better. Looks more balanced, looks more centered in your drawing. And there's one last thing, this new thing that I want to show you on here. And just make sure drawings look a little bit more professional. Here we see we have like these open lines for the walls. Well, a lot of times you'll see that in a set of architectural drawings that these walls will be darkened in. And the act of darkening in these wall spaces is called poche. It's spelled P-O-C-H-E apostrophe. So it's poche. And it's just the act of darkening in these wall spaces. So it just looks like a more professional set of architectural drawings. Yes, there is sometimes that they won't be pocheed. But if I do request you to create a poche in your midterm exam or your final exam, you'll know how to do that. So how do we do it? So in order to create that poche, we want to jump back to our level 1. There's a couple different ways that we can do it. You can go ahead, it starts out with selecting that wall, and then we're just going to right click. And then we're going to go to override graphics and view. The two different ways we can do it are by element. So that would be one wall at a time, or category, which would be all walls. Let's do it both ways. So let's go to override graphics and view and select by element. You're going to get this new window that comes up, and you're going to go down to the section that says cut patterns. And you're going to change that pattern to solid fill. And you're going to change that color to black. And let's just hit apply. And okay, and you can see how obviously that changed just that one wall section to black. But we can't do them all at the same time. In order to do that, we'll go back and select this wall right here. When it's active, we do right click, go to override graphics and view, and this time we're going to do it by category. Same information pops up. Cut patterns, pattern will be solid fill, and the color will be black. We'll hit OK, we'll hit OK, and then that does them all at the same time. And then when we jump back to our sheet, you'll see it just looks much more professional. It's starting to look like a professional set of drawings right now. And this will be the last thing you would do after you get all your sheets aligned and get all your measurements in, because sometimes when you're coming back and you're trying to draw your dimensions, it gets a little bit confusing to where you find that. So I suggest once you get all your sheets and they look perfect, then go back and create that poche just to show you what's going on when you try and add dimensions with the poche in place. See, it's not as obvious. It seems you can see the location center line there, but it just makes it a little bit more difficult. So I always suggest to wait till you're you have everything finished before you do the poche. It'll just make things a little bit easier for you. So that's the only new thing that we're going over today, is how to create that poche. And you want to add that to your floor plan sheet. That's the only sheet you'll add that to. And it'll turn out to look something like that. So that's it for the lecture for today. Nice and short. It gives you lots of time to catch up on your project. Let's jump to, let's see. One second. For our mods, what I'm going to do is make this one live for by the end of this weekend. You can actually turn in any kind of work assignment here. I think a couple of people turned something in here. We get that reviewed this week. And then for next week, if you want to turn in something before you turn in your final exam, I'll change this date and have that available for you. Then on the 7th, you'll turn in your midterm project here. And then on the 9th, we'll have our midterm exam set here. So lots of time still to have me review everything. As we noticed the other day, just reviewing people's stuff, I was able to catch a couple of things and save you a couple of points on that. So please take advantage of turning everything in early. That way you can get things corrected before you turn in your midterm project. So let's open the floor for questions. Anything about what we went over today, or anything that we've gone over so far this semester that you're having trouble with?
Yeah. So for the poche, would you do that for glass curtain walls as well, or would you leave those open?
So we haven't done curtain walls yet. For when we do curtain walls in the second half of the semester, you're still going to want to poche the wall, and it will still leave the curtain wall shown. It won't go over the curtain wall to like bury it in that poche color. But yeah, we'll go over full lessons of curtain walls in the second half. Curtain walls are pretty fun. Any other questions, y'all? Okay, if there are no questions, we'll go ahead and end class. If anything comes up, you can shoot me a text. I'll be happy to help you. I'm not going to Mardi Gras. I have to work a regular job. So, I will be available, if for some reason that y'all don't go to Mardi Gras either, but don't feel, feel free to text me during the break. Just in case you have any questions and need any help. So we'll go ahead and drop class, and I'll get the recording posted. But have a great time and enjoy Mardi Gras. Have a happy, safe Mardi Gras, and I'll see you when we get back.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye, y'all.